can't you ever just do what you're told, you stupid fuck?
My dad hurt me.
Yeah, you need a hug?
I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to touch him. But if he's grabbing onto me when I'm trying to walk away and I'm frustrated, what am I supposed to do?
That's the blood came out of my nose.
And I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to help him when I can't even help myself.
On January 17th, 2024, officers responded to a residence after a child told school staff that his father had been physically and verbally aggressive toward him.
Yeah, we just had a report that's regarding the child reported to school staff that their dad was angry a lot and mean to him. He wanted to live with his mom, reported that multiple incidents of dad pushing him to the ground, reported that he got scared at night and his dad ended up pushing him to the ground again. They have been, I guess, gave them groceries because the dad has been having a hard time. And then dad got mad at him again. He didn't have any marks or bruisings according to the school, but he reported that dad hits him in the face and he made a fist. He reported that dad has kicked him. He was asked about if he understood his private area, and he said yes, and that's where his dad had kicked him. Calls him names. Dad has choked him before, he said. Calls him stupid, get out of my house. Calls me bullshit, calls me F-word, gives me the middle finger.
And it was reported by a teacher?
Yeah, but it's anonymous, but it's reported to school staff, it says.
So the kid reported it to the school yesterday, but then they just sent you guys like an email of it? Or
no,
like...
they made a report.
So they didn't contact law enforcement?
No.
So then they just let the kid go home with his dad?
Yeah.
After saying all that?
Yeah.
And there's no record of mom at all?
No, it doesn't say anything. It just gives the dad's father.
Okay.
As a reference, but that's it.
Hopefully he's here with the kid. I did find a grandpa on the kid's power school, so I can give you that information if you need it.
God damn it! Why can't you ever just do what you're told, you stupid?
Officer Fernandez with Farmington Police Department.
Hi.
Hello. How are you? Can we talk to you outside?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we can hear that you're pretty upset. Okay. So we're just going to talk to you about some stuff that's going on, okay? With your son.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you say your name?
I go by Athena.
Athena?
Yeah,
okay.
That's
okay. How do you say his name?
Aragorn.
Aragorn? Okay. Where is he at inside the house? Because I need him.
I just put him in this room for a timeout because I'm trying to walk away.
Okay. Do I have your permission to go make sure that he's okay real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi. How are you? You okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need a hug? Okay. You upset?
Because my dad hurt me.
Okay. Where did he hurt you?
He pushed me away in front of me. And that's what he did.
Just now? Okay. Can I see, like, your hands and stuff to make sure you don't have any boo-boos or nothing? Okay. You want to pull up your sleeve for me so I can see your arms? You look a little bit red on your arms right here. What happened? See that right there? What happened, you know?
Dad just pushed me.
He pushed you? What about these ones? Was that from the same thing? Okay. You got some red stuff? Where did you hit? Was it your back? Or was it up here?
It was up here.
It was up here? Alright, and that's where you hit? What, did it hit your face at all? Okay, what side?
This one.
That side? Alright, how old are you, Aragorn? You're 6? Hey, let me see the back, can I see the back of your neck real quick? You can play with your toys, I just want to look at the back of your neck, okay?
My dad, this is really easy.
You got you got any boo-boos on your legs? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That one?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll show another one.
What happened with those? Do you remember what happened to your knees?
Yeah.
What happened?
Look at this.
Oh my goodness. What happened?
Michael pushed me.
Who's Michael?
Michael's just like my brother.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Does anybody...
He really slapped me right there very hard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I started crying.
Okay.
That was a very long time.
How old is Michael?
8.
He's 8, and he's your brother?
Yep.
Who else lives here with you?
My dad.
Just your dad, nobody else?
Yeah, but Grandpa and Michael just come and Grandpa. Like, and Grandpa. Yes.
Do you feel safe with Grandpa?
Yeah. And Mom.
Grandpa and Mom?
I scared of storm because every time I get scared of storm, I just hide in my blanket.
Okay. All right.
I may clean my room a lot.
Well, your room isn't that dirty, though.
The only kind of hitting that's happened before is he's been spanked. As far as any kicking and stuff like that, I have some aggression at times where I'll break personal items, but never anything that goes on to him. I do yell. You know, it's a single parent. His mom hasn't been involved. There's times where in the mornings he just doesn't. He doesn't want to listen to me, and so he throws tantrums, and I'm trying to get him ready for school, and I can't get to work on time, and I can't do the things I need to do to provide for him, and so it perpetuates, and that anger just builds up, and I don't know what to do, because I don't have a support system. And I'm transitioning, and I don't have a support system for that, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I get frustrated, because it's like just now I was trying to walk away and he keeps grabbing me and pulling me away and trying to like hit me and stuff, and so I keep trying to push him away, and finally I just pushed him away a little harder and he fell, and I don't know what to do in those situations. Like, I don't want to hurt him, I don't want to touch him, but if he's grabbing onto me when I'm trying to walk away and I'm frustrated, what am I supposed to do? And I've got him in counseling I've got in family counseling. We're going to Judy Beck. And there's been times where we've talked about things and we've been trying to work through it. So I'm trying to go through the motions to get to a point where it's not bad for him at home. But I'm just lost. I don't know what resources there even is for single parents to,
Where's his mom?
She's in South Carolina.
Does he have any contact with her?
She's supposed to video chat with him once a week, but it's more like once every 2 weeks if we're lucky.
Okay.
And I've talked to her about trying to be more involved and trying to contact him more often, and she says that she will be, but she doesn't. And she left suddenly. She just left during COVID. She said that she was going to go live with her mom. We had 50-50 custody, and he was doing great during that time. He was thriving. Mm-hmm. When she left, it was put all on me.
So what we're going to do is just kind of, I'm going to go ahead and talk to him as well, and then we can also offer resources to you to kind of support. We have family support services that can also come into the home and help you out. I know they do. It's through Desert View. Have you gone through them?
I haven't gone through Desert View before. When I first was 50-50 custody with his mom, he was in, it was a special needs program and stuff, and they came and visited with us before, and again, he was thriving during that time. I was doing okay because I had someone else who could help me on that, and so I was doing a lot better. There wasn't any yelling ever or anything like that. I forgot Roundtree, that's what they're called.
Oh, okay.
Roundtree,
okay.
Yeah, so I was with them for a long time.
Okay.
And then when he got older, they said that they could continue service with him, but they didn't see a need to at that time.
Okay. Does he have any developmental disabilities?
No. No. I mean, his school counselor has said maybe to see if he's high-functioning autistic, but there's no huge signs of that.
Okay. How do you discipline?
Generally, I usually try to put him in a timeout, but lately he's just been disobedient and stuff like that, so I usually just get frustrated. I'll take away toys and TV and stuff, but again, he just tries to escalate the situation. He'll call me names, he'll try to hit me. I'll tell him that's not appreciated. I'll put him in timeout, and then eventually he just escalates to a point where I don't really do it too often, but sometimes I'll spank him, and it's not harder than, it's enough to maybe make him go like this, but it's about like that.
Okay.
And he's usually, I wouldn't say fine after that, but he's frustrated, and then he tells me I'm mean, and then usually I can walk away at that point, but otherwise he'll just scream and cry for hours.
Oh, okay. How many times do you usually spank?
Maybe twice a week. It's not often.
Like at the time?
Oh, just once.
Once? Okay.
Yeah, just once.
And then with your hand, belt, or?
Just hit my hand.
Okay. You're on Medicaid?
No, I was before. He should still be. I had insurance through work, but now
okay. Okay. Any substance use?
I smoke.
How frequently do you?
Once a day.
When was your last use?
last night.
Okay. Is that around your son, or is it?
No, it's usually after he goes to bed.
Okay.
So we need to put him on a 48-hour hold.
Oh, okay.
With everything he just told me. I don't know if he showed you his...
No.
Okay. You want to... Hey, remember what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Like what happened right here and on the other side? Your boo-boos?
That's from my dad.
They're from your dad. Okay.
And that's the blood came out of my nose.
What was that?
That's the blood came out of my nose.
Blood came out of your nose and it
Yeah.
went right there?
It was really bad.
Okay.
And there's some in my bathroom.
I can hear. Let's just talk quiet, okay?
Where's my dad?
He's downstairs talking to somebody else, okay?
Okay.
So we just got to make sure that you're okay. This is Eric Gorn,
Okay.
and he's 6 years old. The bruises on his face, he's got one right here on his right side that kind of looks like a line.
Okay.
It kind of looks new to me. On the other side is a little bit bigger. It's like right next to his mouth, kind of the size of the quarter.
What is this?
So I don't know if there's any internal
Right.
things going on. We are going to put him on a 48-hour hold, and
Okay.
I'm going to try to transport the dad to detectives. So
Okay. Where is parents at
Emily,
right now?
Emily.
dad is downstairs, but dad goes by Athena.
Oh, that was that. In the
Yes.
purple?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for that wait, Athena. So there is some bruising and stuff on Aragorn. Okay.
His cheek.
Yeah. So there's a few, and there's some scratches and some redness on him. So we are going to. We have no choice but to put a 48-hour hold on him because he has bruising and stuff like that.
So what does that mean?
So what that means is he's going to be transported by medics to the hospital, and he's going to get evaluated for the injuries that he does have. He is making some statements about how he got those things. Okay, so that's something law enforcement has to investigate, and with that being said, we can't have you in contact with him until everything's done being investigated. Okay?
With that, his counselor, is she going to be allowed to be involved in such? 'Cause
His
she's-
school counselor? Or
his medical counselor.
his medical counselor?
Yes, Judy
Okay.
Beck.
Judy Beck?
And she's my personal counselor as well.
Okay.
She's been working with us.
Okay. So my biggest question right now is, are you willing to go with us to the detectives to talk about what's going on? Just because it's a more formal sit-down place? Or are you...
Am I going to be appointed an attorney?
If you want an attorney, that's 100% your right, and you can have one.
I mean, and if I choose not to go down to the detectives with you guys, I'm just trying to get a
We can talk here if you want.
Yeah, and we can talk here, but if you want an attorney, you always can have an attorney present.
Yeah, I would like to talk here, and I would potentially like some kind of attorney.
Okay.
That's an option.
We're in America, right? We all have rights. So you have the right to remain silent.
Obviously, if you want an attorney, we can facilitate that if that's something that you would like. And if not, if you're open to answering questions here, I can sit down with you and we can have a chat.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, let me sit down. Let me sit down.
So what are your preferred pronouns?
it's she, her.
Okay. So, Athena, what happened?
This morning, he had woken up, and it was a pretty normal morning. And I went to go get him dressed, and I asked him to turn off the TV, and it was time to get ready to go. And he said no. I waited a few minutes. I asked him again. He said no, and this time I turned off the TV. And I could tell he was frustrated, so I walked away. I let him be upset, and then I came back. I was like, all right, let's get dressed. He told me no, and I said, okay, well, then I'm going to be the one that gets you dressed then, because I need you to go to school.
Yeah.
And he said no, and then he started fighting and all this, so I sat down on the chair, and I was trying to take off his shirt, and he was swinging himself around, and he swung himself into the chair, and he hit himself on the cheek, and then he started crying and screaming, and then I didn't know what to do to get him to calm down, because I tried to hug him, he didn't want that. I tried to say, I'm sorry, he didn't want that, and then I tried to walk away, and that was pretty much it. He just kept escalating, and I just said, okay, fine, you know what, we just won't go to school today, and I've been jobless, so I've been trying to put job applications out, so I was frustrated because I can't go and do that because I'm worried about taking care of him. And so we've just been hanging out all day. We played with Legos, we had a Nerf war. I took a break, I was just on the computer just doing some job stuff, and came in my room, and he'd asked me for a snack, and I said sure, give me just a second. And then he started calling me names and stuff. I was like, you're not going to have a snack if you're going to be mean to me. You know, you're just going to end up in timeout. And he just kept being rude, and I said, please stop. And he said no. So I was like, all right, fine, you're going to go to your room. And so I went to go pick him up, and then he dropped his body dead to the floor and was dragging his body against the floor when I still had his arm in my hand. So I let go. And then he got all upset, so I tried to pick him up by the body and then place him in his room. And that's when he kept pulling on me and kept pulling on me. And I was like, I even said him, I was like, let me walk away, you know. And I've told him I was frustrated. I was like, let me walk away, please. And he just wouldn't. And finally, I pushed him onto his bed, and then I was able to get out the door, and I just shut it behind me.
Okay. So the push thing, that's been discussed a couple different times, and I wasn't sure where it actually had happened. So it happened upstairs.
Yes.
Earlier you said pushed him to the floor. Well, now it's the bed.
Well, I pushed him away and onto his bed, so it's. I'm sorry. His bed's right here, and so when I pushed him, it was against his bed, but he was still standing. So he was right there on his bed and on the floor, I guess.
Okay. So he was swinging on you? Or?
Yeah, so I had him sat up on my lap like this, and I was pulling his shirt up so his face was facing this way, and he was swinging around, and then he spurted towards like this, trying to get my hands off of him, and I let go, and he just went like that. And he turns himself, and he slams his head, but he hit himself right on here.
Okay. Well, that's pretty...
It's pretty hard, and so I didn't know what he was upset about at first. I was like, why are you so upset? And he's like, you hurt me. I was like, I didn't hurt you. You hit the pillow. And then he's like, no, you hit me right here.
Okay. Is that where these peas came from? Was that just like an ice pack or something?
That was an ice pack, yes.
Okay.
Because afterwards I saw it was red, so I asked him, I was like, do you want to put something on your face to make it feel better? Mm-hmm. And he said yes, and I was like, it should make it go away eventually.
When we first walked up to the door, there's some pretty choice words that were used. And I mean, I get it. I have kids. I get frustrated. I say, fuck, I say, I say that kind of stuff. It sounded pretty aggressive, though. Everything piling, the way it sounds.
I haven't been able to go to counseling. I mean, and I don't want to, because this sounds like bad, right? But my job had asked me to violate the law, and so I told him I quit, and now I don't have any way to take care of myself or him. I can't go to counseling anymore. I can't, I have nothing that I can do to take care of myself, and I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to help him when I can't even help myself.
Yeah.
And so I try really hard to just walk away from situations and stuff.
We were wondering if we could have Grandpa. He can stay with Grandpa.
Okay, my dad's phone number. Hi, kiddo. Bye, kiddo. I love you. We'll see you in a bit, okay? I'm sorry I was frustrated.
You guys were arguing a little bit this morning about him not wanting to go to school. You said you were walking towards the garage. The chair tripped you up, and you just later broke it.
I broke it in the same moment. I tripped on it, and because I was so frustrated, and then I had tripped on it, I was mad because it was in the way and I didn't see it. So then I got mad and I kicked it and it broke, and then I just stomped on it afterwards to get it out and break it the rest of the way.
Okay. Was some kicking to the groin, some kicking to his body?
No.
Some slapping, maybe some hitting that was unnecessary?
I've never kicked him or kicked him in the groin ever. I swear, I've never done that to him. No, I mean, he got hit in the groin at school, and that's what I was saying earlier with, that bullet he got hit in the groin by them, and he said that other people at school has hit them there. And I told him, I was like, if somebody hits you there, you need to tell the teacher, but if you can't get away, you can hit him back, if you have to.
Yeah. Do you feel sorry at all? Is that why you...
before you guys got here?
When he hit the couch... Was that on purpose, and then you felt sorry and grabbed the peas, put him on his face?
I did feel sorry, and I did go grab him, and I put him on his face. I was like, okay, let's try to get that swelling down, because I don't want you to be, having a hard time chewing or made fun of.
So in the past couple days, have there been times where you felt that you were so frustrated and that your spanking was overboard? Or your punishment was overboard?
Today was the first time I've spanked him in weeks, and... I mean, usually my punishments are, no TV or video games, and that's usually pretty soft because I feel bad. I don't know what good punishments there are, so the worst that I do is I get frustrated and yell, and I always feel bad about that.
But you don't feel like you've gone overboard recently, or as of late?
I've definitely, like, on the verbal side where I've been upset, where I've just, gone through and had kind of my own tantrum because I have CPTSD, so, like, it's just, sometimes it's uncontrollable, and I just get frustrated and I'll just walk back and forth down the halls and try to vent out, so I'll yell and he hears that, but it's never directly at him. I do yell, though, so it's not like... And he thinks it's at him. It's like, I'll say something like, why can't you just listen to me? Or, like, I wish you would just do what I'm telling you to do. You're making these, like, things like that. Or like, God, I'm just so frustrated with you right now. I wish I could just take a break.
So, and then help me clarify something. Because this is a picture that I had painted in my mind. I was about to kick down the door, right? I hear some words, and then I hear, you stupid. But in my head, I'm seeing you very frustrated, and then him potentially being injured or hurt. So where was he when this was all going down?
Like right before you got, he was upstairs in his room. He was upstairs in his room, and that's when I had walked straight to the door. I had been sitting here for a second, and I looked at the time, and I realized, I was like, dude, it's 12 o'clock in the day. Now it is, but it's 11 in the morning. I haven't done anything with my day. And so I was frustrated about that because I was reminded just how the whole day went. I was sitting right here the whole time. When you guys knocked on the door, I was 5 seconds away. I answered immediately. So I was down here. He was upstairs in his room. Okay.
Do you think he might explain something differently as far as like the incidents today?
I don't think so. It's hard to say what words he would use, but I'm pretty sure you would get almost the same general story.
Okay.
So Aragorn told me that you had thrown him up against the wall, and that's how he got a scratch on his chest.
I've never done that. Never done anything like that.
So is there...
I'll walk through the whole story as many times as I have to, but I've never touched him in that aspect.
Why would he feel the need to tell a police... Because usually police officers make kids feel safe, right?
Right. No, I picked him up, like how I usually pick him up is underneath by the arms and stuff like that, and he was facing me, but I've never pushed him against thrown him against the wall or anything like that, like it's some kind of like movie investigation or anything like that.
So he said that in his room, that when I was up there earlier, he said that you gave him a nosebleed the other day, and that that there is blood on his bed is from you, is what he said.
He had a nosebleed in the middle of the night, and it was on his bed, and he woke me up, and I didn't know what was going on at first, because he said my nose hurts, and I was like, what's going on? He'd already gotten up and wiped it, but yeah, I had a dry nose, and it was in the middle of the night. There's all kinds of stains on his bed from other things before, but I didn't give him a nosebleed.
I gotta be frank, right, as a cop. Do you feel like you don't want him in your life anymore?
No,
that it would help you through your transition, that it'll help you through your frustrations, get better without him, and then once you're better, you want him back?
No, I want to have the partnership that my ex-wife and I agreed on. I want to have, I want to be involved in every step of his life, but I can't do it on my own. I need somebody who's like a parental figure to be able to take on that role.
So you don't feel like a parental figure?
Well, I do feel like a parental figure, but I need somebody else, like a partnership in some way. I don't have to have, a significant other, but, I've talked to his mother, I've asked her, I've begged her to move back. I was like, please, I need your help to raise him. He needs his mom. I've said that when we got divorced in court, that I said that he needs both of his parents in his life. Mm-hmm. And when she left, she gave me the option to either not have him at all in my life or to take him full time. And it's what are you going to do in that situation? He's my son. Of course I want to see him every day. Yeah. So it's I was pushed into either having him full time or not at all.
Yeah, but as of late, do you feel like you don't want him right now? You want to not push him off to somebody, but you need your own time, right?
I just want somebody who's able to take him half the time. I want to be able to be a supportive parent and involved in his life, but I don't know if I have the ability to do that every day. I have, like I said, there's all this stuff going on. I just... I don't know what that is. I don't have other friends, really, who have kids. It's not like if that was the case, it's maybe, they could go hang out together for the day and, I can do the same for them or something. But I just don't really have that option. So it's just, I do need a break of some kind, but I don't want, a long extended break away from him. I love him. I love playing Nerf wars with him. I love playing Legos with him. Like, I love all of that. Every part of it. And I'm happy to be in his life, but I don't know if I can be the only one in his life. You know, like, that doesn't mean I can't be there, but I can't be, like, the only person who's giving him all of his needs. That's, you know, like, even with two parents, like, you can't meet all of the needs of a child a lot of the time. But, like, it's more feasible and it's done.
Yeah.
And it's just me, like, you know, it's when I was working, it's like by the time I get off and go pick him up, it's like 5:15. I have to call him home and make dinner and all of that. And then by the time I'm done making dinner and we eat, and I get him in a bath and stuff like that, it's bedtime. And then I have to go to bed an hour later. I'm living to just keep living, you know, and I'm trying to take care of him because he's everything to me. But I can't even really take care of myself right now, and I don't know what else to do.
In New Mexico, we're pretty proactive with keeping families together. Usually they want to see families stay together. But honesty goes a long way. In order for us to help you, there's a bunch of services that we can provide you. If you work with CYFD, they can get you through parenting plans. They can get you services, maybe put him in some clubs or some youth clubs to help him and aid him, right? But you're going through a lot, and it sucks. You got this ball of piled up inside of you. But I need honesty.
I'm being as honest as I can.
I need to know if it went overboard and when. Because if he's saying that it went overboard, and he's telling us, and he's going to tell multiple people, he's telling his school that it went overboard.
The only time I've been overboard is trying to get him dressed. I'm trying to pull his clothes off of him, and it's yanking him, but I don't... That's it. That's the only time today where it was really overboard.
Did it frustrate you so much right here that you pushed him into this chair?
No, I lifted up off of his shirt and he slammed forward. So if I did, it wasn't intentional, but I don't think I was going like...
Is this the shirt right here? Or was...
No, but I was trying to put on his shirt, so I guess, yeah, you're right. No, I realize that now. Putting on his shirt, it probably pushed him down like that.
So now you were, rather than taking off his shirt, you're putting it on.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And it's okay. It's okay. We're willing to work with you. That's what we're here for.
I'm sorry. I'm nervous and I'm trying to be forthcoming with you. I really am.
Like what? Show me.
Probably pushing down on his shirt.
Did you do that intentionally?
No, I was just trying to get it on his arms fast because usually what he does when I'm trying to get him dressed in moments where he has been frustrated with that is he'll start like pulling off his sleeve on his own if I can't get over his head. So I tried to pull it over his head and just pulled it down as fast as I could.
Were you pissed off at that time?
Yeah, I was upset.
A detective is on his way here right now to come and talk to you, and he's going to kind of let you know what's going on a little bit more. So if you could for me, just grab your phone, maybe like a jacket, and we can go talk outside real quick. So what's going to happen is we're going to do a search warrant on the house, okay?
Okay.
But for that to happen, we're going to have to go outside, so I just want you to be able to have whatever items that you want to take with you to come outside, and then we can let the detectives do their thing.
Before I get searched, can I have an attorney?
It's a search warrant of your house. We have to apply for it through a judge.
Okay.
Yeah. You can call your attorney. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I need one appointed to me. But
Yeah.
I would appreciate that before a search. I want to.
So the search, we go through the judge. That'll be explained differently. That's granted to us, and we have to determine if it's granted. But in the meantime, what we do is we hold the house, right, for whatever amount of time without anybody in it. We secure it, and we stay here, and nobody else can enter or remain. And if the judge grants us the search warrant, then we are lawfully allowed to search it.
Right.
If we're not granted, then we just give you back to residence. That's how that works.
Okay, so I can't talk to my attorney before.
You can
Before the search.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
that's
they
all I'm asking.
they can't stop it. It's
I'm not
up to a
asking
judge.
I'm not asking them to stop it. I just want to be able to speak with an attorney beforehand.
And if you need one appointed to you, you're gonna potentially have to call the public defender's office right now.
That's
and you can type in San Juan County Public Defender's Office. and see what they need to do in order to appoint you one right now. I'm not sure. I think there's an application process. Since you're unemployed, I think you will qualify for it. So there's an application process for that.
Where do I go when it's being searched?
So the thing is I'm just going to have you stand up, okay? Can you stand up for me? So right now, you're just being detained, right? You're under arrest right now, okay? So for child for right now, okay? Because we believe that there's probable cause to believe that there is child going on. So I'm going to be transporting you up to the jail.
I thought I was allowed an attorney, and that I'm a little confused here.
You still are. You're able to call an attorney.
How can I do that if I'm being detained right now?
It's like I said, it's a process. One's appointed to you. That's how it works. If you can't afford it.
My option was to go stand outside and get arrested outside, or...
So I tried to give you an opportunity to get things that you wanted to get without us getting them for you.
Okay, well,
and so that's why I asked that.
Okay, but I'm just confused how that led from one end to the other, because...
So we basically already knew these things.
I'm sorry, I've never been in this situation before.
Okay.
So, can I finish talking, please?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I've never been in this situation before, which is why I was asking the questions that I was.
Okay.
I don't feel like that should mean that I get detained.
Okay, so we have enough probable cause to believe that child abuse is occurring, and that has occurred over the past couple days, if not more than that. So we have probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed.
Just gave me the option to go outside.
Well, I was going to detain you in handcuffs anyway and arrest you.
That's
yes.
Got it. Okay, so that's what I was asking with that. So
Okay.
That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being lied to.
No, I'm not. I'm not
I was
lying to you.
given the
No.
option of the situation.
No.
So, when do I get my one phone call?
You get a bus.
Yes,
They're
you'll
all
get a
free.
lot at the jail.
So my name is Jamie Smith. I'm the investigation supervisor here at CYFD. Based off of the circumstances today, we are needing to set up a safety plan for your kiddo being. The biggest thing is that we need to get your consent once we go through all of this stuff on the safety plan, because we do have some concerns, obviously. The biggest thing is I'm under the impression that you're okay with sending him to stay with your dad. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm Detective Nkoma. I'm with Farmington Police. Quick
She
question.
goes by Athena.
Okay, Athena?
Yes.
Okay, Athena, where do you keep your keys so after we're finished with the house, we can lock it?
They're
on your
on my
bed?
bed currently.
Questions for me?
No, not really. I'm sorry. There's like 1,000 questions. However, are they relevant? You know, I'm
sure.
nervously changing. Can I grab my medicine? I'm sorry. That's in this.
Yes, we can definitely grab any medicine that you need.
Okay.
I also do have another question regarding is there anybody else that lives in the house?
No,
Okay, just you. And,
just me and my son.
Okay. All right. Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm going to jail, and this is really weird, but because I'm transgender, I'm like afraid of going to male jail.
Yeah.
I don't want to be assaulted. Is like, do you know what happens in that scenario? Because I really
Yeah. So I know. So I don't have the exact answer, but if that is a concern of yours, that's totally understandable, and I wouldn't want that to happen to you either. I don't want that to happen to anybody. To have that type of fear in general. Unfortunately, it is a fear, and I couldn't imagine having to have that type of fear. So I'm going to do my best to talk to them, but it's more of a them question. I don't want to just tell you yes or no, but I'm sure that they can put you alone rather than with a group of people at least, because I know that they can put people alone rather than in like Gen Pop and stuff like that.
Okay.
The woman was charged with child abuse.